Hello and welcome to a surprise pop-up live video. I do really miss Mondays and I just kind of felt an urge to hop on. Don't mind all of the noises that are going on. Crazy construction, leaf blowers. I mean, it's been non-stop. And I don't have anything planned, but I do definitely have something to talk about, which is the topic of seeing is believing. You know, I love deep diving in what is the truth, what is perception, what is the ego, what is consciousness, what is this reality, and how are we perceiving this reality to create a unified view of our world. I mean, I love this kind of stuff. I definitely loved taking philosophy classes in university, and in so many ways I'm so grateful that I have time and space in my life, finally, to think about these deeper concepts. So before we get into seeing is believing and subsequently believing is seeing and what that really means for all of us and how we can live our best lives around this concept, I just first want to ask you, how are you doing? It's been really insane. Like, I've said this before in the past couple of videos, but it feels like 2021 has been more intense in a very different way than 2020 ever was. 2020, there was a lot of unknowns and there was a lot of questioning and there was a lot of kind of everything at a standstill. And I feel like even though there's a lot of things within society that are at a standstill in 2021, it's been this non-stop vibration and frequency of go, 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 go. And I believe that's in relation to collapsing all of our different timelines and really being pushed to be here in the present moment, which means that we need to deal with a lot of trauma, a lot of past stuff, past life stuff, childhood stuff, in order to be as clear as we can be from moment to moment. And all clear really means is the ability to be present. Anytime we are taken out of the present moment, whether it be with a pain in our body or with a fear of the unknown or with an anxiety of the future, whenever we are taken out of the present moment, maybe with social media scrolling or drama with a friend, we are taken out of the ability to be the objective observer, right? And recently in this year, the first couple of months of this year, it feels like it's been everything all at once, everything simultaneously, past, present, future, as well as all infinite possibilities colliding and coming in, and all of the other timelines and possibilities also coming in, and us really kind of being in the middle of two very different states of vibration, 3D, 5D, whatever you want to call it. So I wanted to ask you, how are you guys doing? It's been insane for me. Technology, communication, everything has been just all at the build up at the forefront. Let's see here. Thank you so much, Corinne, for that super chat. Really appreciate it. Where are you guys at? Will there be an end soon? Lily, I hear you. You know, maybe we can tap into that. Lorian, you're saying something big is coming on a global scale. I feel that too. Like, everything's building up at an individual level for us to get to a turning point, right? And we're getting prepared for that. And most of us are in tune with how that feels, which is chaos and anxiety and overwhelm and frustration and trigger, right? We're feeling all of these things, but at least we're aware of feeling these things. Most of the world is not aware of this impending build-up for an impending transition, but it seems like we are. You guys are. Challenging in relationships, rocks, yeah, I feel that. Rough day, nature fairy, feel that for sure. Taking it day by day, Anita, I feel that. Jen, also not good today. Yeah, it's been difficult. You know, everything feels like it's been a chore. So I wanted to bring this concept of seeing is believing. I think we've all heard that concept before, right? You see it, you believe it. I just got interviewed and they were asking me about, haters and trolls and different kind of conflict that I have in my life. And absolutely, I would say that, being in the position that I am, basically just sharing my beliefs publicly, it leaves me open and vulnerable to receiving criticism or attack. And the interviewer was just asking me, how do I deal with this and what's going on? And my response was, I am so strong in my convictions of aliens or reptilians or, situations on the planet, things that have happened in the past, the different dimensions, what's going on out there. I am so firm in my beliefs in those ways. And that conviction, that firmness, it comes from seeing it. It comes from believing it. I believe in what I know because I've seen it and experienced it firsthand. And so when they were asking me about the trolls and the haters and the different videos and the controversy around what I believe, I just told them, everyone is privileged. Everyone is open to their own opinion, right? If I were to say that it's wrong that someone calls me out on something that seems utterly crazy or unbelievable, then I would be wrong in calling them out because they're just one half of this beautiful binary world that we're living in, right? So that kind of conflict, it doesn't affect me like it used to. I'm still a human. I still have down days. I still get frustrated. I still feel hurt when I don't feel seen or heard, like most of us, But at the same time, I can't expect anyone, not my haters or trolls, and none of you, I can't expect you to believe everything that I say because you haven't had all of the exact same experiences that I have. You've had your own. But you know what? You know what I firmly, firmly believe? We can all get to a place where we're channeling, where we're fully telepathic, even where we're telekinetic, which means walking through walls, levitating objects. I mean, it's endless, instantaneous healing, instantaneous manifestation. I believe we can all get to that place. But how? How do we get there? That's the biggest question. I know that I'm psychic. I know that I'm a hybrid. I know that I have this amazing DNA. I know I have capabilities. I know I feel like I'm here for a reason, but how do I get there? I believe that how we all get there is through experience. There is nothing that I could tell you. There is nothing that I could draw out for you. There is no movie that has high-tech graphics that you could watch. There is no book that you could read from anyone that is going to give you the direct experiences that you need to be like, yeah, there's, different dimensions and I've been there and I had this trip once, or I released a bunch of DMT, or I had a conversation with an alien in a dream once. No amount of external research is going to allow you to have those experiences so that you are firm in your convictions as well. That's what it takes. And I do not expect anyone to believe an ounce of what I say until they start having experiences where they experience simultaneous time through deja vu, or they hop back into a past lifetime and are like, oh my God, reincarnation is real. At a certain vibrational level in your body, you have a resonance to the things that I talk about. Maybe not all of them, that's totally okay. But you're here for a reason. There's a resonance there. But that resonance can only take you so far. So how do we get from the place where you understand something, or maybe you don't understand it at all, to fully being able to surrender to it and therefore experience it? There's so many things to unpack here. And so let's just go back to the title, right? Seeing is believing. I can't expect you to believe in aliens if you haven't seen them, if you haven't experienced them. Deep down, there's a knowing, but you may not be able to make that leap, right? I didn't make that leap. I didn't believe that aliens were on this planet and that they were real and they were a thing until I got abducted, and I had them like this far in front of me, right? So, I also want to flip this phrase around. Seeing is believing, but also believing is seeing. Now, this is really interesting. I love talking about the binary, dualistic nature of this reality. It's dark and light, right? It's white and black. It's high and low simultaneously. That's a mastery position right there. So believing is seeing. I will only believe that I'm smart enough if I get accepted into Harvard, right? Or whatever the contracts that you have. I only will love myself once I lose the 10 pounds and see that my body is the way that I want it. Or whatever the thing is, right? So seeing is believing. Now you flip that around and it's actually equally true on the other way around. Believing is seeing. So if you believe in something, you will eventually experience it. So let's just flip up the word seeing into experiencing. Experiencing is believing, but believing is also experiencing. So if you're stuck and you're like, I know I'm psychic, but I've never seen it. I know I can feel energies and auras, but I've never experienced it. If you're stuck having a knowledge but not having the experience, I want you to try something different. I want you to flip it around. And let me just hone in on this. Usually I write notes down and I have my thoughts organized, and that's probably why I write things down. I just want to tune in and organize. 1 second. Right. Okay, so it comes down, a good example of this would be the placebo effect. So if you flip around, believing is experiencing. I believe that I can heal myself. If you hold and have the purest amount of belief within yourself that it is possible to instantaneously heal yourself, you will be able to do that. And you will have the experience of that. So not only is experiencing believing, but believing can lead to experiencing. So some of us want so desperately to believe and have that knowledge, and some of us so desperately, have the experience, but not the belief. It's really interesting, and it is kind of complex. And every time I go into it, I get a little bit more lost. But hopefully you see where I'm going with this. If you truly believe that aliens do exist, they are real, and maybe you make a statement that you're ready to experience them, that belief will lead you to that experience. Likewise, if you believe truly that the only thing that exists within this physical reality is this physical reality, guess what your experience is always going to validate for you? That this is all that there is. There is so much of a spectrum within this reality, not just in sight, right? The spectrum of color that we can perceive as a human being, but the spectrum of sound and vibration is also so limited for us as these third-dimensional beings, and I'm sure extra-dimensional beings as well, right? So we're so limited in our perception, it's difficult to just open yourself up completely and say, I'm ready for any and all experiences. Our subconscious mind is always processing 110% of everything that is going on around us. Our brain, however, can only process and figure out and articulate and comprehend a very small amount of all that is going on around us. So you get to discern, you get to figure out where that spectrum lands for you. So let's use a really tangible example here, like something that I think a lot of people are struggling with. You know what pops up is self-worth, the concept of self-worth. Once again, I got to figure it out. I don't believe that I'm good enough to get a better job or to make more money. And because I don't believe that I'm good enough to get what I want, whatever that may be, I am attracting all of these people around me who are questioning me because it's validating the reality, the space, the focus that I am holding behind that one belief. And I just actually was talking about this on an Instagram live video earlier, which I will post to YouTube as well. Our reality, the vibration that we're in from moment to moment, is based on our perception of that moment from moment to moment. If we perceive something as good, it's adding value to our existence. If we perceive something that is bad, it is lowering the value in our existence, which means that there is no standard for what is right and what is wrong. There is no ideal way of being or existing in this world. For anyone to say to anyone else that this is the way that you need to do, and this is what you need to eat, and this is how you need to pray, and this is how you need to manifest and be a good human, it's just, that's bullshit. You know, it's not, I can't say it's not the right way to direct people, right? Because that's also right or wrong. It just is what it is. So we need to be aware that we are the only ones who are dictating the outcome of our reality based on our belief. Whatever we believe in creates our perception. And wherever our perception lands from moment to moment, it creates our vibration. So I could just say that our vibration creates our reality, which it does. But if we scale it back, it's also the perception, and it truly is the belief. So let's talk about belief for a second here. If you believe that anything is possible, and you truly believe that, and that takes a lot of letting go. Like, it takes a lot of reformatting your mind to just be totally open with anything is possible. This is great. It takes a lot, right? But say, for example, if you believe that you are smart enough and brave enough and strong enough to live your dream life, things in your existence reality will start to break down, to build up, so that therefore you can live your dream life. Belief is everything. And our belief has been shrouded by other people's projections of what is right and what is wrong. So the main thing that I'm probably getting at here, okay, is first of all, just to understand what creates and makes up your reality. If I said, what makes up your reality right now in this moment? You might say, well, you know, my son takes up a lot of my time, and I also have a dog, and I have a husband, and I go to yoga, and I do these things, and I try and, you know, take a bath and have some alone time and whatever. Right? That's what your reality is created. But I would say that the reality that you're living is actually made up of your perception, of your vibration, and of your beliefs. And of course, your actions and your reactions, because that all comes full circle as well. That's what's creating your current reality. The best advice that I could give you right now at this time, because as we started this video, 2021 has been everything all at once, not just at a global level, but at an individual level. All the beautiful, good opportunities, new things and timelines, all the shitty things that you didn't think about, that you didn't complete of the past, are all coming back. And the best advice that I could give because we are getting sucked into 3D low vibration, negativity, fear, frustration, projection. And we are getting pulled into new possibilities, opportunities, timelines, excitement, abundance, all of that great stuff. Come to a place where you are neutralizing all of your beliefs. So let's do some homework. Let's just actually work on this right now. Please comment in the live chat right now, or comment in the comments below if you're after this live video, and comment what your biggest struggle has been. What has your biggest challenge been at this time? And what is your belief around that struggle or challenge? So once again, my biggest challenge has been work lately. And my belief around work is that I'm not good enough to go out on my own, so that I'm working under this terrible boss or what have you. Let's break that down. What is your biggest challenge in life right now? And how are you perceiving it? And be honest. Don't have oh, well, it's all meant to be and it's love and light. Really go into it. Why is that? What is your perception? What is your belief around that challenge and struggle? And that therefore I can read these off and try and help you guys on the spot with this to switch it around, to neutralize the belief behind your challenges, so that no longer are they challenges or triggers or pain points for you, that you can actually move forward from that situation. Your boss isn't going away. You still need a job to make money. So the physical reality of your situation is going to stay and remain the same. But let's change the perception. Let's change the belief. Because changing the perception and changing the belief is changing the vibration. Once the vibration is neutralized and changed and shifted, then you can move on either with the thing in a higher vibration or without the thing, and you attract something in a better vibration. There's really only two timelines here moving forward. You're moving forward with the pain point, with the challenge, but you're moving forward in a better vibration, or you're moving forward without it, and you're finding something in that realm that is more and higher aligned to you. Now, just an awareness that if you move forward with the thing and you change the vibration of it, reminder, you cannot change anyone else's vibration. So it's not well, once my boss does this or gives me a promotion, or once my husband shows up and is emotionally supportive and listens to me, it has nothing to do with the other person, because you cannot control their reality. All you can control is your perception and your belief, which then equates to your vibration and current accumulative reality. So let's take a look here. Let's see what's going on in your lives. All right. Okay, so my biggest challenge is my husband's low self-worth and negativity. So this is Chance. Let's just think about this, right? So that's on him. And you have to ask yourself how you're supporting him and what kind of patterns you're going through, right? Because I think something along the lines of the definition of insanity is doing the same things over again, doing the same thing over again, expecting different results, right? Which is, it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. So how are you supporting your husband? How is that not working? And how is that taking away the support that you should be giving yourself in your own life? Now, what I tend to find with challenges within dynamics and relationships, it could be anyone. It could be extended family. It could be your brother. It could be your partner. It could be your best friend. Okay, but thinking about challenges in interpersonal dynamics and relationships, including your boss, the best thing that you can do is raise your own vibration and live your best life, okay? So I used to have a client years ago, and she would tell me, Elizabeth, I'm at home, I'm with the kids, I'm cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids, and life is great. I have music playing, and I'm dancing around, and I'm in a good mood. My husband comes home from work, he's in a super negative vibe, really just ball of dark energy, and he totally shifts the vibration of the room. I turn off the music, I'm walking on eggshells around him. What do I do here? And what I recommend in all of the interpersonal cases is turn the music back up, live your best life, do exactly what you want to do around these people, because you're raising your vibration, which means that the lower vibration is no longer the dominant vibration in that room. It's the higher vibration that's dominant within that room and within that personal dynamic. Eventually, that person will learn through experience, or will be unable to handle your vibration, and there you have it. Either they shift and change and you guys move forward together, or you move apart, right? But no longer are you sacrificing yourself for someone else's vibration. This doesn't mean to not have compassion over that person. This doesn't mean to not support that person or to be a dick to anyone, really. Okay, kindness is always great, a great vibration to hold. Have compassion, but no longer sacrifice yourself for that person or your vibration and your mood and your energy. The best thing you can do without even saying or doing anything is to actually just raise your own vibration, live your own best individual life, and you will create changes and effects in all of the people's lives around you. And so the other day, Nat and I were walking down the street, and this girl, whatever, passed us, and she was giving me a dirty look, apparently. I don't know, just whatever. And Nat, asked me, she's like, do you notice that, and does it affect you? And I say, no, I really just don't notice actually at all. And I said, in the past, my ex used to make a really big deal about either like men looking at me or women looking at me. And I said, what I used to do to those people, like kind of like dagger eyes, was I would just smile at them. You know what I mean? Like I would literally kill them with kindness, even in super low or negative vibrational frequencies. So, and you can't always do that, because that can be draining too, depending on the situation. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we've got another kind of challenge here from Yuk. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Y-E-U-K. I can't exist in the world without being helped. Okay, this is a really good kind of challenge, right? Like, I feel like I'm not independent. I feel like I'm not self-sufficient. I feel like I'm always being a burden to everyone. A lot of people feel that way. So here's how I would switch that around to raise the vibration of the perception around that. Once again, the words that you wrote was, I can't exist in the world without being helped. It's a very, very strong statement right there. Very strong belief that you're clearly holding. Did you make breakfast for yourself this morning? Yes or no, right? You don't have to answer that, but think about it. Yeah, great. You did something for yourself. Are you, drinking water throughout your day? Yes. Well, you're doing that yourself. Are you able to maybe like go take a walk or make the choice on what to wear when you wake up in the morning? Yeah, most likely. And I also want to like be inclusive of people with disabilities and not having certain choices. But my point here is, take a look at your life and your reality and ask yourself, how am I supporting myself, rather than getting down on how others are supporting you or how you feel like you can't support yourself. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Okay, there's a couple here that I want to address, but I also want to just address them in the vein that we're talking about with perception and belief. Okay. Okay, so we've got Everett Williams here, and your challenge is bills, right? Finances, trying to let it go without having to worry if I'm going to lose my home. Okay. So this is a very scary situation because it involves like a life force, right? It involves something that's very stable. So here's, and I know like this isn't like, It's funny because some of the haters and the trolls recently are like, oh, well, it's all good and it's all vibration. And it really is. I mean, if you want to change physical realities, it is going to be through vibrations. And it's difficult to get around that point. It just is what it is. Anyway, so with finances, to neutralize the fear that you have. So the fear is, I don't have enough money to pay my bills, therefore I might lose my home, right? That is you're justified in having fears around these two things. So hold on, I have to get back to it. Right. So there's a fear that you're holding. Even though the fear is justified, there's a fear that you're holding there. The first step is to neutralize the fear that you have around losing your home by bringing an awareness of the opposite of, I'm losing my home, I'm losing my foundations, I'm not good enough to afford the bills, all of the things that come along with it. And then flip it around to, losing my home could potentially be the best thing that ever happened to me. It could allow me to move anywhere I want to move. It could allow me a freedom that I didn't have before. It could allow new possibilities and opportunities into my life. Changing your perception around it. So going from one extreme to losing my home means losing everything that I've ever had, to losing my home means brand new possibilities and opportunities for me. Once you have seen the situation or the challenge from both perspectives, both sides of the coin, you can then come to an objective place in the middle. And that's a good point where you can kind of let your guides, your higher self, the universe know, I am open to receive whatever is aligned to my best and highest vibration or my best and highest good. You can only ever ask for something to happen that's aligned to the best and highest vibration if you are not holding a perception or a belief around it. You have to come to a place of neutrality. And this is very similar to a lot of spiritual bypassing that we hear about in the New Age spiritual world. You know what? Let the universe decide. The universe has my back. The universe will make a decision. And I find myself reverting back to that as well. The thing that I say to myself is, if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. Now, before, I used to kind of use that as a bypassing of, I don't want to make this decision. I don't know what I want, so I'm just going to leave it up in the air. I'm just going to let the universe decide. Well, if we are a part of the universe, eventually it's going to be us that has to make a decision in one way or another. And if we are skewed in fear, attachment, obligation, then we're not going to be able to make a very pure or clean or neutral decision. So we have to neutralize the vibration. So the other end of the spectrum is, I'm about to buy a new house, right? I really want to get it because it's going to serve me in all of these ways. And we have an attachment around what we want. And even though it's very positive and a good vibration, that attachment is a low vibration. And you need to go to the other extreme end, which is, well, you know what? If I don't get the house that I want, that's okay because there's a better one, right around the corner. And you neutralize your belief, you neutralize your attachment around that thing. Then you can come from a place in the middle, and it's only in that place of neutrality and 0-point frequency where you will be able to manifest and where you will be able to fully experience. I know I kind of got off track from the seeing is believing, but it does all wrap into the same thing. What makes up our perception? What makes up our reality? And this is a really, really important concept to dig our heels into and to question. So anything that is triggering you, anything that is challenging you, anything that you want that you don't feel like you currently have, I really implore you to sit with it for long enough to neutralize the vibration by going to the extreme opposite end. And I also want to remind you that just because you really want something and then you think about not having it, you are not not creating it because you're okay with not having it. I think a lot of us are scared to think about things because of the manifestation or creation that could potentially happen around those thoughts. And that is also completely warranted. But it's like a negative and then a positive come together into this neutrality. And from that place of neutrality, then we can ask for what we really want. We gotta scrape away the perception. We gotta scrape away the belief in order to be pure enough to experience psychic and spiritual abilities, to ask for what we want, to gain access to downloads, and all of those great things. So, and I'll tell you right now that the things that are coming through and being downloaded to me and the things that I'm contemplating, they're not like super simple or easy concepts to be like, you think it and you manifest it and it happens. Like, it's very, very deep levels of, I don't know, energy work, spirituality, whatever you want to call it. But these aren't simple concepts. So don't feel like wrong if you don't fully understand it. I don't fully understand it, at this point in time. But there's something here that your soul is going to resonate with at a deeper level that's going to allow you to integrate the awareness behind every action and reaction that you have moving forward. All right? That's really what it all comes down to, is how aware are we within the reality that we're existing in? Like the construction that is never ending, or the girls who got drunk and were yelling all day yesterday, like, for me, it's really beautiful to be aware of the chaos in my reality and like smile at the chaos in my reality because I can view it from that objective place. I don't do that with everything, but I'm just learning how to do this and do it in a really authentic way. Like, I'm not just dismissing and saying that doesn't bother me. I really just observe it and appreciate and respect it for being there, because it's all just an experience, and we get to experience both sides of this incredible reality, right? So that's pure power, is just to, and power being like having full, authentic, vulnerable control over your reality without needing to be in control at all. It's like allowing your heart to pump blood through your entire body, or allowing your lungs to breathe oxygen into your blood. It's like, these are things that we don't have to think about. And I think eventually we'll all get to a place in our life, in our reality, where we are in full surrender, we are in full awareness, and therefore we are in full control without ever even having to think about control. Because you're just really open to both sides of this experience. And that's all it comes down to. And I guess I'll leave you off with one more thing, and hopefully this resonates, or deep down something starts to shift and change, because these are all just pieces of a greater puzzle. But I want to leave you off with, a couple years ago, I had this also another download, and just understanding that going into a new vibration, shifting, ascending, awakening, enlightenment, 5D frequency, whatever you want to call it, all right? Moving into that, all it requires is change. How willing are you to change from moment to moment? And in order to really be aware of how willing you are to change, you have to be aware of what your attachments are and where you hold them in your life. And the more and more we attach to what we believe, to what we see, to what we think is possible, to what we've seen before, to what we think is going to happen, the more and more we close ourselves off to the infinite power of the universe and the ability that we all have to experience all of it. So as long as you're in the present moment and you're willing to change, no matter what it may be, but especially change your perception and change your belief, and always knowing that there is no one belief. There is no one belief. your belief around energy and spirituality and manifestation and instantaneous healing and 5D, that can change at any time. And we need to be okay with that. And, just, I guess, questioning this reality, being willing to change within your reality, and always thinking for yourself and understanding that we have the free will to take our power back. That's the most important. And then all of a sudden, seeing isn't just believing, but believing becomes seeing. And that's pretty incredible. Thank you all so much for this amazing random pop-up Monday live video. I love you guys. Have a fantastic week. Just have a fantastic week. That's all I want to say. I will be back around next Sunday. If you have the book, enjoy the book. Take extra time for yourself this week. If you feel tired, sleep. If you feel anxious, write in your journal. Take a bath, give love to yourself, raise your vibration, check in with yourself, and enjoy this polarity. Bye for now.